Captain on the bridge.
Alright, captains, we are back on the bridge, and today, yes, we will be on the Defiant, our next video up for the first Contact Day Fleet Series tribute. Before we get into this video though, captains, do us a huge favor, hit that like button. Also, if you're new here, welcome. Subscribe here to the YouTube Bridge, as we're always on the lookout for like-minded captains where we can share our love and passion for Star Trek Online, but also things Star Trek. Now, with that said, here we go. Now, captains, as I've been saying here throughout the series, it's been such a blast to be able to do tributes to these ships, of course, that was involved in the Battle of Sector 001, one of my favorite pew pew scenes in Star Trek. So we're going to go quickly to the YouTube log bridge and just show how long we've come since our first one, which was the Oberth. Then we went on to the Miranda, the Soyuz, the Battle Pancake, aka Nebby, the Steam Runner, of course, the legendary Akira that was just released, and then we're going to get back to the ship though, but that's going to be another completely different video and build. Then we did the Saber, and of course, our latest one was the Norway. And captains, you know how I feel about the Norway. So again, what we're doing here is the purpose of just giving tribute to the ships that were in Battle Sector 001, but also tribute to First Contact Day. And as you can see now, again, we are on the last two ships. So this ship is the Defiant, and we'll read a little bit of history on the Defiant here. So here it is here, the USS Defiant. Of course, some quotes here for the Mirror Universe counterpart. Please see ISS Defiant. We're not going to see that, but one of the best quotes in Star Trek history. Tough little ship, William T. Riker, 2373. The USS Defiant was a 24th century Federation Defiant class starship operated by Starfleet. This was a prototype of the class and the second Federation ship known to bear the name Defiant. So I will say, which I kind of say a lot, of course, with most ships, is this ship took a while to grow on me, but of course when it did, this became like the Ferrari of the starships in Star Trek. And yes, this was the main, of course, ship in the series DS9, but of course we got a lot of moments from this ship in terms of her in battle. And we've always said that this is one of the ships that I feel that I can really feel like Star Trek battles are in Star Trek Online, because no other ship I can maneuver and or fly through warp core breaches like the Defiant herself. And we get some images, of course, there of the Defiant fighting the BERG there, but we'll also go to the Defiant class page here. So again, Defiant class there. I think you're going to be surprised at how big a punch this little ship has. Kira Nerys to Riker. That is so true. So the Defiant class battleship, officially an escort vessel, began development in 2366 as a small, highly powered, heavily armed warship intended to defend the United Federation of Planets against the BERG. The USS Defiant was the prototype of what was to be a new Federation battle fleet. However, the ship had numerous design problems that were made apparent during its shakedown cruise. These flaws, combined with the decreased urgency of the BERG threat, caused Starfleet to table its plans for a battle fleet and put the Defiant in storage. The Defiant prototype was pulled out of storage in 2371 when the Dominion threat emerged. After several upgrades by Deep Space Nine Chief of Operations Miles O'Brien, the ship was subsequently deemed worthy of use and more ships of the class were constructed. And of course, here we see its armaments here, and she's loaded, Caps. Look at 4 phaser cannons, 3 phaser emitters, 4 forward and 2 aft, photon and quantum torpedo launchers, defenses, deflector shields, and ablative armor. She is packed. Like, she is packed to the nines when it comes to her pew pew power. And yes, again, this really became one of my favorite ships, and just using it in Star Trek Online, we've done various builds for her. And this is one of my favorite scenes, and of course, a lot when the Defiant fired 2 quantum torpedoes, which we are trying to and will try to again emulate here in this build. So, of course, she has a cloaking device, but that is that. So now we'll go back to the main bridge here in Stowe. and have a look at her. And again, this is not the first time we've done a build on the ship, but of course, if we're going to do a series for Star Trek First Contact Day and tribute to the fleet of Battle Sector 001, well, we had to come back to her. And this has been remodeled here, reskinned, and it's just been a beautiful, gorgeous reskin done by the dev team here. So there. Now, we decided to go a little different with this, as the last two builds, I believe we just used the legendary version of the ship. What I wanted to do was use a ship that is accessible to anyone, especially those who don't have access to the legendary version of this ship, which is, I would love to. It would be like the easy way out, but I wanted to show what this ship can do in another configuration. So I know that there was the adamant, but that's not what we decided to use. So what we're going to do is we're going to go over the build, the weapons, space set, traits, consoles, station, and doff, and then take it into a Cure Advance and see how she does. This is going to be a fight, captains, because of the build that we put on this. I'm probably going to make some people cringe, but that's okay. I'm the one captaining the ship, so don't worry about it. Here you go. We will show you what ship we used. And it was, of course, USS Worf'S Defiant, but it's the Fleet Tactical Escort version of this ship, and this is what we decided to do. So it is a little bit torp heavy, surprise, surprise, but it's kind of warranted, I feel, and I really have been having fun with this and trying to come up with a different configuration. And again, it would be the easy way out to use the Legendary Defiant, but this ship had an experimental weapon slot, and I wanted to make use of the experimental weapon. So we'll start with the 4 weapons. This is what we have here. So with the Legendary Akira bundle release, it came with Maelstrom Quantum Torpedoes. So you can have 2 of these on your ship, and these torpedoes are crazy. They're absolutely, one, they sound and look cool. They're quantum torpedoes, so duh, we're gonna use them. But we're going to have a little read here. So Maelstrom Quantum Torpedo charge kinetic damage. So to target 61,505.6 kinetic damage, 1 charge. This stores up to 3 charges and consumes all charges on use. That's a massive amount, and you can put 2 of this. Now it's only 2 max on per ship. Man, when this hits, you can feel it. You can really feel it. And I've been hearing captains have been getting like 1 million hits on this torpedo easily. So because there's a quantum torpedo, because the Defiant has quantum torpedoes, we decided, yes, we're definitely using this. So we're going to be using this again. And I just see here an awesome feature here that just happened. All my bridge officers are gone, so we're just going to hit this quickly. Everyone's back to normal there. Perfect. I don't know why it did that. Well, I do know. It's like features. So we're just going to quickly fix this, because if I don't, it's going to hurt my mind there. There you go. Put that back there. So those are the torpedoes that we have there in the front, the first 2. And the next one is the wide angle quantum torpedo. Of course, this you can get on any version of the Sovereign, Regent, and up, the Tier 5 version and up. Of course, one of the selling points of this torpedo is it is a wide angle, so you can broadside and this will fire. So we decided to really lean into the quantum build on this ship. And of course, we had to put the quad cannons. Now, I just put the Agony phaser cannons as the first one I clicked on. Doesn't really do anything. There's a little bit of a dot on there, but it's not really the main damage dealer. It's there to help a little bit, but I put my weapons power up just to help the quad cannons there. So there's that. Our space set, nothing too different here. The Elite Fleet Intervention Proto-Matter Deflector. And of course, this version of the Agony Phaser does come on the Adamant. So keep that in mind, captains. Of course, this ship does come with its own quad cannons. I believe the Tier 5 version, of course, the Legendary as well. So just keep that in mind. So the Elite Fleet Intervention Proto-Matter Deflector from your fleet colony. The prevailing innovative impulse engines from your competition rep. And still going with the Mycelial Harmonic Matter Antimatter Core and Tilly's Review Pending Modified Shield, both from the Discovery rep. The 2-piece, of course, gives us 120% hull regeneration. So not too bad. Now our aft weapons here, again, to keep up with the phaser looks and to help with the look of this, because that's what's more important to me, is the look more also than the performance. So we had beams here, and it did say there in the stats that this has beams on it. So we decided, yeah, we're putting beams on it. So in the aft weapons, because this looks like it's firing from the fore anyways, the Trilithium Enhanced Omnidirectional Phaser Beam, which you can get from the episode Nexus as a reward. Free Omni Beam there, and it has a chance for some weapon haste, so that's always good. A regular old Omnidirectional Phaser Beam that I got from the exchange a long time ago. And of course, because this does have photon torpedoes, and we did see the Defiant fire photon torpedoes from the aft, we're putting that there in the aft, the Prolonged Engagement Photon Torpedo, which is a staple on most of my builds. I got this as an event prize, but you can get this in the Phoenix prize pack as a very rare token. Now, the experimental weapon slot, we had to use this one, the Terran Repeating Warhead Launcher. This comes from the Adamant. So, it looks like 2 quantum torpedoes firing, and this is why we're using it. So it is kinetic damage, so, and it, again, I don't know why they didn't call it quantum torpedoes, but sure. Now, you know, captains, on the other experimental slot that we used on the other ships, we were using the experimental weapon from the Mirror Drone, which gave us photon torpedoes. This time we have this. So I'm glad I have these. Could you imagine, captains, if they gave us a slot for 2 experimental weapons? I would be in torpedo heaven. I would have this, and I'd have the photon version. That would just be awesome. But that'd just be too OP, but it is what it is. Devices here. We'll keep going here. Some Torp Candy for the plus 30% bonus projectile damage. And of course, the Kobayashi Maru Transponder for its buff goodness. The consoles, this is what we decided to do. The Bioneural Infusion Circuits for its plus 29.5 Starship hull capacity. And it's flat out 26.2% critical severity. Again, this is from the Low-Buy store. Next up, of course, Dynamic Power Redistributed Module from the Atlas, aka the Prototype Dreadnought, for its 11.3 all damage resistance rating, plus 19% directed energy damage, which is going to help our quad cannons and phaser beams there. But the clicky is where it's at here for 20 seconds, plus 40% bonus damage while above 80% hull, plus 100 bonus damage resistance rating, plus 500% hull regen. And again, you can get the Atlas as your event prize if you so choose. And of course, we're pairing it with the Point Defense Bombardment Warhead, which is from any version of the NX, plus 25% projectile damage, plus 1% critical chance. Pretty cute. But the 2-piece of this will help our energy weapons even more. 33% phaser damage for directed energy weapons. Next up here, we're finally going to use the opening salvo. This still makes sense to me. So as you can tell, captains, we are spitting out quantum torpedoes on if the Norway and the Kira were spitting out photon torpedoes, here we're spitting out quantum torpedoes, or quantum looking torpedoes, at least the bluish, whitish looking torpedoes. So this, of course, console comes from the Tier 6 Luna. One of my favorite consoles, of course. Now we are going to use actually this console. This is from the Eagle, one of the ships from the 13th anniversary bundle. So it does give us also plus 28% projectile damage. Sets shared torpedo recharge to 1.5 seconds if it was longer, or to 0.5 seconds if equipped ship has pilot maneuvers. This doesn't have pilot maneuvers, but I'm using it for those 2 reasons. Plus this gives us a cloak, and we know that Defiant can cloak. We're probably going to use it once, maybe twice, but when you do this, when you're in cloak, you actually like plant bombs onto your targets. So we're going to pick and choose when we do that, but definitely going to use it at least once, because yes, the Defiant does have cloaking, and this does help us, at least have the passive to help us with this build with a 28% projectile damage. Next up, for our more phaser damage, but also beam overload in my head, emulating phaser lens from the Deimos Pilot Destroyer, which again, you can get from your event campaign. I got this as my first one, and I have not regretted it. It's going to help our phasers, plus 15.8% phaser damage, and give us a little bit of Starship Shield Pen, 43.8. Next up, we're going to be using the ferrofluid hydraulic assembly, which is from your Terran rep. Again, plus 13% maximum hit points is going to help us, and that feeds into Tyler's duality. But it also gives us minus 0.5 second shared torpedo recharge time. So that's going to help, even so a little. Next up, we are going to use the Lorcator, the Lorca's Custom Fire Control. This is from the Discovery rep for its 3.9% critical chance and 157.5 Starship Shield Pen. In my opinion, this is a free thing if you just invest your time into this. Again, from the Discovery rep, great console. Next up, we are going to use this, the Tricobalt Tear Launcher. I know it's a Tricobalt, but the visual looks like Quantums, and that's what we're going for, is the visuals. Okay? But it also gives us 19% mine, but we don't have mines here, but torpedo damage. But it also gives us 47.5 Starship Shield Pen. So can't really beat that. And then we're just rounding off the build with vulnerability locators, 2 of them for torpedo damage, of course, for 2% critical chance each, and 34.5% torpedo weapon damage. Our stats, this is what we end up with. 36.8% crit chance, 178.2% crit severity. Now, captains, of course, keep in mind, my Pendevers is ranked to 600. I do have the ability to go 750, but the reason why I don't is we were doing fine before the change, and we're doing fine after the change. The change being, of course, them adding 150 points. I find no reason, because right now, anything that we do here on the bridge gets us through our nightly PEW PEWZ, and I think that's the most important thing. Build your ship to the content that you play. So there's that. We're going to go over the skills. Again, I have not changed this in years, and I don't plan on changing it now. We have 8 spent in engineering, 10 spent in Psi, and 28 spent in tactical. So there's my tree there. Specialization, nothing has changed. Intelligence, primary, temporal, secondary. Traits, this is what we're using. We are going with a good day to die, kinetic precision, self-modulating fire, into the breach, resonating payload modification, superior projectile training, unconventional systems, of course, Terran targeting systems, intelligence agent attaché, and of course the Boimler effect. Now, this is not upgraded, but it is showing that this slot is here. It even actually says it, but it's not. This only has 5 traits here, so just keep that in mind. I did not upgrade the ship. It's a fleet ship anyway, so. We went to ceaseless momentum, universal designs, subspatial warheads, entwined tactical matrices for a back-to-back torp spread, and we're also using one of my other favorite traits, the assault formation theta. With the use of Omega, attack pattern Omega, we get a high yield 3. Space reputation, this is what we have. The torpedo pre-fire sequence, advanced targeting systems, the Omega kinetic shearing, enhanced shield penetration, and Tyler's duality. And because of our hull there, we have an additional 4% critical chance, and that's again based on our capacity, our hull capacity there. Okay, and then 7.5% at 200,000 hull capacity. But of course, this hull here of this ship is only at 86,982, so pretty cute. Active space reputation, we have our anti-time entanglement singularity, biomolecular shield generator, force challenge, tethered non-baryonic asteroid, or the Riker maneuver 2.0, and refracted tetron cascade. Yes, I'm going to refer to that always as Riker maneuver 2.0 because it's hilarious. So then we'll go to our stations, left, right, top to bottom. This is what we did. So we have jam targeting sensors, scramble sensors, beam fire at will, distributed targeting, torpedo spread 3. So we're gonna be spitting out quantum torpedoes here at nauseum. And of course, attack pattern Omega 3. This is going to give us our high yield 3, plus the benefits of attack pattern Omega. because we had nothing else to put here, we just went with tactical team. Chemosite laced weaponry. And high yield 3. So we get to use back-to-back high yield 3 torpedoes and then back-to-back torp spreads, one being torp spread 3 and the other being torp spread 1. Then we have mercy powered engines, emit unstable warp bubble, tractor beam, and of course delayed overload cascade. Only 2, but this still has a big push away and kinetic damage, which of course this build is based on. And of course this gives us only 4 uncon procs, but I still feel it does well. Now, to our dupes, let's go to our dupes. Our dupes on the ground helping us in space, of course, is Neil Falconer, who is essentially on everything. He's always here. And of course, he was in first contact, increased damage versus BERG. It says ground, but I've been told, and it is been confirmed, that this DOF helps us in space. Just like Eldar Milkatan, it says here space, increased damage versus all. Then our active space actual DOFs here. Emergency Con Hologram Officer, which gives us a quick recharge and evasive maneuvers when we hit mercy powered engines. We have 3 projectile weapons officer, again 2 of which give us a chance to stack crit severity when we fire torpedoes. The 1 is a chance to reduce the time to recharge torpedoes. So we're trying to spit out as much torpedoes as we can. And there is kind of a long cooldown on the Maelstrom Quantum torpedoes, but it's still fine. Delirene, of course, increased damage versus BERG. And 1 energy weapons officer for a chance to stack crit chance when we fire our energy weapons. So there is the build, captains. Again, we always try to make it a little bit different, though similar, but to us, it's still fun. And keep in mind, captains, anything that we do here on the bridge, anything that we share to you is always just for fun. So again, like I said earlier in the video, we're going to take this into Cure Advance. Just like we've done with the previous videos, we're going to take out the left docking station, zip over to the right, taking out all the ships heading towards the Kang, because our objective is to protect the Kang as well. Having its hull not drop to 0, obviously, but hopefully keep the option of not having it drop below 75%. Take out the right dock station, clear everything up that we've missed, and then take out the center and then finish the TFO. So let's see how this tough little ship does, because she is that. She is one tough little ship. So Cure Advance, of course, fitting because this ship was made to fight the BERG. So here we go. Oh, map transfer fail. Let's do that. Press U. Another feature here shown on this video. That is awesome. It would not be a Star Trek Online video without a feature. Hopefully my buff stayed in place. If not, hopefully it's just quick as a clicky button here. Yep, everyone's there. Close that. Now we start our buffing up here. We'll hit our high yield, our quantum, and of course our fall for our torp spread. We're gonna hit over here. Hit this. Hit that. There goes the Q. I'm telling you, Cap, this Torps is just absolutely insane. Again, we're going for the quantum spitting action here. Let's get over here. Take out this one's heading over here. See, it still has the quad phaser look, so, and quantum torpedoes there. Whew! Let's hit the torpedo spread here. No, no, no. Look at that. Takes care of that. I know there's more heading over here, so we'll just take care of these ones here. Take that out. Take this sphere out here. I mean, I was saving my bus for the tactical cube there. If we can fire there, that'd be great. There you go. Okay, she's doing good. Let's head over here now. Reset. Actually, we'll do this. We'll cloak. We'll plant a bomb. like that. Now it's planted. We'll go here. And hit everything we have here on the cube as best as we can. There you go. Maybe it would help if I was facing the cube. Doesn't matter. We still did it. Clear up everything here. Like, why wasn't the thing firing? Yeah, because, well, I wasn't facing. So let's take out this raptor here. And then we're going to head over. Oh, there's some Borg raptors there. I didn't realize what's going on there. I'm going to take this out here. Well, it's taking damage. Didn't see these guys. Come on, take this out. Boom. We have some help here, so we're going to take advantage of that. Take care of these Negvars. Going to have to use our quantum salvos here to take their shields down quickly. Still doing good. Ooh! That's a good night. That's a good night, Negvar. Okay. The Kang is still doing good. Like I told you, Captain, this is going to be a fight, and we're going to fly through the warp core breach like that. Okay, next up, let's take out this last dock station here. Let's get close. Unleash as much as we can here. There's the Maelstrom Torps. There goes the cube. Hopefully add some damage here. No? Alright, well, we're going to keep going here. We're going to keep going until she's gone. Just like that. There's the Maelstrom Torps. Bye! Those things are a thing of beauty. Okay, I think I saw some leftover things here, so we'll just clear that up quickly. But as you can see, she did fine. It was a little bit of a fight. Missed those raptors that were on the Kang, but the Kang is still doing just fine. We got the optional. We're going to save our buffs here for the last assimilated carrier here. Take these out. Perfect. Okay, Kang, get out of here. Get out of here. Bye. Okay. Actually, you know what we're going to do? As soon as the assimilated carrier comes there, we're going to cloak, plant a bomb, hit it from behind.
We will add your technological and biological distinctiveness to our own.
Here, have a bomb. There's its torps. Look at that assimilated carrier. Bye! Oh, we got that other sphere too. Boom. Just like that. Woo! Yes! Oh, captains, this was... Alright, one sec, sir. We're gonna go over here, take our ship selfies. Captains, if you don't know what that is, those are our ship selfies. And again, we're just gonna have Borg bits here behind this ship. And I keep saying that this one... best maps to take some selfies because of that green go. Oh, that is so good. Yes! Yes! That just looks so mean too. Alright. Let's head out of here and then give our final thoughts here on the Defiant. Our second last ship here in our first Contact Day Fleet tribute. It's been so fun. And just doing these again are so fun. If you can't hear the joy in my voice, captains, know that I'm just having a blast. Trying to just make things a little different. Even the slightest difference in builds for me make me work. Because again, if it keeps me engaged and stoked, that's all that I really care about. And of course, for me, this is fun. And as long as you're having fun, and that's most important, of course, getting to the content that you need. And this definitely gets us through the content that we play, especially when we're online with my fellow captains. So there you go, captains. There is the build. There is what we did with the Defiant here. That's our tribute, using the toughest little ship there for the first Contact Day Fleet tribute. And of course, it was on the USS Worf'S Defiant. Again, super fun. We have one more ship to do, captains. Of course, that is going to be the Enterprise E. I'm still wondering what we're going to do there, but we'll come up with something. We'll come up with something, maybe even similar to this, but we're going to make sure that we have fun with that. That's going to be a little different because of the speed of that ship. It's going to be a little different. We're going to be probably flying around like a headless chicken, but we'll do that when we get to the video. So there you go, captains. Again, thank you so much for checking out those videos. If you have not watched those videos yet, do us a favor, watch that. But for this one, hit that like button, comment below, let us know what you think of the Defiant, and if it's one of your favorite ships and where it ranks on your list of favorite ships. And of course, with that said, we will leave it on this note.
Live long and prosper.